Hey, Metaverse, what's up? This is Resident Raccoon here, AJ. I'm here with Starwind. Now, for some context before we get into this video, this is a little bit of a random video. We were usually Starwind and I, we sit down together and we record some stuff, and when we try to go through the news, we're looking at things, and that branches out into conversation, and we record those conversations, and that's usually what we upload. So we were talking about journalism, video game journalism versus YouTubers, or video game reviewers versus YouTube. And I think we reflected on that video after we made it for a few hours. And I was thinking pretty hard on it in terms of not just video game reviewers, but journalism as a whole, and then looking at YouTubers as a whole in terms of gaming and kind of what we do too, and then really compare the two and see the pros and cons of that. And I'm sure Starwind has too because we're doing this.
Very true.
So we watched a few videos. We watched, like, we're not gonna name drop anyone, but we watched like 3 reviews, and then we did watch one video on Alana Pierce. She was a former IGN person. I can name drop her because her video has like 1.5k viewers. Not even 1.5 million viewers.
Yes.
And it's a very big video, nice video. You should go check it out. I'll link it in the description below. It was about a year ago when the whole Last of Us 2 drama started, and then that kind of was what fueled the fire with reviewers versus YouTubers. So I didn't ask for Starwin for his input and an idea on the video because I wanted it fresh for the video. So I'm going to ask now, what did you think about that video?
It was pretty insightful. It was kind of confirming certain things that I had already thought. So I was never under the impression that publishers paid uh video game journalists to give better reviews. Like that was never a thought that ever crossed my mind. I was always under the impression that to keep good relations between video game journalists and developers or certain publishing companies, they would limit what video game journalists can and cannot say. That was always my viewpoint on it, just so that, like I said, to keep relations good and obviously continuously getting in like review copies and things like that. And she kind of touched on it and said that might be an issue, but then at that point it's the fault of the publisher and not the video game journalist, which again, I agree with that. Like I'm not questioning the integrity of the journalist. It's always the companies that are at fault. And that's always that was what my issue was. And then after watching some videos and reflecting on it, like you said, AJ, I kind of changed my viewpoint. Then I started looking up some YouTube reviewers. Like I asked you for one, and I was kind of like doing a little bit more research because at the time of the previous video, like I had mentioned that I don't really know a lot of YouTubers. I don't really know a lot of YouTube
Yes.
reviewers. So I was kind of like trying to scour the net to see like what was going on there. Like how is it that these people really act and why people trust YouTubers over video game journalists as of right now. Like that seems to be the common consensus or what people think is cool now to say that video game journalists suck. And I was really trying to figure out why. So I'm here watching some of these videos and I was like, oh, I think I understand it now.
What is your epiphany?
It's something that she said too, and like you've mentioned it before. And I feel like we constantly say this like in the podcast
Yeah,
where
I know where you're going.
yeah, so it's like people just want to hear that the thing that they like is good. That's
Yeah.
all it's coming to. It's just this one fucking random YouTuber is like, oh my god, this video game is awesome, or he's like, oh my god, the other video game is shit. It's like if you're already having negative thoughts about The Last of Us, and then you see a YouTuber come up and be like, this video game was garbage, and he has a lot of the same viewpoints as you, you're automatically just gonna be like, yeah, this guy knows what the fuck he's
Sold.
talking about. And then IGN puts up a review. It's
10 out of 10.
yeah, now that's an issue. So now your first thought is, nah, IGN definitely has to be getting paid off because they're the big name company and no one's gonna pay this YouTube guy to say this. He said something negative, so he's definitely not getting paid off. I'm like, wait, no, that doesn't make sense.
And don't forget, GameSpot also gave it a 9. So
Yeah.
that's just even proving more that gaming journalists are
If I'm not
just
mistaken, video game journalists reviewed it really well. It got really good reviews, journalists,
Yeah.
and then it was like the masses that shitted on the game.
That hated it, yeah.
It's like, how can you say that? And literally, all
So
the
that means Sony bought every single
yeah,
video game review. They bought that shit off.
which doesn't
Sony
make any
coughed up
sense.
mad money. And they also bought Jeff Keighley so he could give him the fucking game award.
It's fucking ridiculous, just absurd. And it's so weird to think that we're in a time where YouTube exists and like all these video game journalists, these websites and reviewers exist, and people are just like, nah, I don't trust you. You're Garbo because you
Even
said
though
something
they've
that I don't
been
agree with.
around for years.
Yeah, yes. Because
So
I don't remember this ever being an issue like when magazines were out. I don't remember anyone
no,
ever saying that when magazines were out.
magazines were the only information we got.
Yeah,
And whatever you heard from your boy.
yeah.
Which was also usually most of the time was the same opinion you had because that's why you guys were boys.
Yeah. Or they were just
So-
repeating things that they read in the magazines.
Yeah, like someone I know. But the modern day. But it's crazy because I mentioned, in the video we're not going to put up, so I'll reiterate it here. I mentioned it where it's like people love numbers. They love number scores. And they hate so much when the Game Awards comes around and they're like, The Last of Us 2's Game of the Year. It's like, fuck. Ugh. Oh my god, why? We've lost hope in humanity. This is it. This is over. It's like, yeah.
El
The Last of
Dramatico.
Us 2. The Last of Us 2 winning Game of the Year means humanity's done. We failed in this as a species. Not politics. Not anything involving politics or our fucking world problems. The Last of Us 2 becoming Game of the Year is where our problems need to start and end. We need to fix this now. Please. It's ridiculous. It's so fucking stupid that you asked in the other video where it was like, will there be a balance? And there's no balance. There is no balance between having concise, good journalism and concise, good YouTuber journalism. Which it's journalism in the end of the day. It's all journalism. YouTuber,
Yep.
fucking IGN, it's all journalism, man. If you sit down and you wrote an essay for your review, you're a journalist. Congratulations.
Yep.
You're just not a hired journalist. You're just not getting paid for it because you don't have the degree for it, maybe. I'm sure there are YouTube people out here who have English degrees and that's why they're making video
Content,
essays.
yeah.
Yeah. So, which is what I would do. Like, I would do that, exactly that. And then that's how you get hired, right? But there's a lot of YouTubers who just put on a mic and start yelling into it about shit that they hate or love. And you're a journalist still. You thought this out. You wrote some shit down.
Journalist light.
Exactly. Like, congratulations. Like I said, you just don't have the job. But I've always said that the effect of YouTube and YouTube trying to defer from IGN, GameSpot, Game Informer, people like that, is what created dumb gaming journalism. This is what I like to call it. It's what generated it from Kotaku and people like that, where it's like, oh, I'm just gonna fucking make my own gaming journalism. I'm gonna go fucking write my own reviews and stuff like that. And that's how we got Chun-Li isn't in the Mortal Kombat movie. I'm trying to think of another example.
Forgot that was a thing. I remember.
Yeah. We get dumb shit like that, there was another one that I had in my head that was really stupid. IGN did the too much water one, but
The Pokemon, yeah.
yeah, and there was one more.
Didn't they also say something about Spider-Man and the puddles? If I'm not mistaken.
That you couldn't see yourself in the puddles.
So, or that the puddles looked like garbage. That they were saying that's why the game was trash because like look at the puddle reflections. The ray tracing here is bad. Like shit like that.
I don't remember that.
I
I would have to look at that up.
I'm about to Google where's Kotaku
Oh,
articles.
Persona 5. When Joker was being put in Smash, and someone, I think it was Kotaku, I could be wrong, but someone thought that the lyrics for Life will change, right? That's the name of the song. The lyrics for that one had like a disability slur in it
Oh.
during the Smash reveal for Joker. That was one of them. That was in our whole article, where a quick Google search for the lyrics of Life Will Change will tell you that's not the case.
My God.
But that tells me that the person never played Persona. They just heard the song in the Smash reveal and was like, click, fucking Atlas is racist.
Oh wait, didn't they also do an article about not picking the male pro tag in Mass Effect? That was also another one.
Yeah, Kotaku did the you should pick the female pro tag because
That one
the
was pretty
male
bad.
one was about male straight white cis supremacy, and he was a cop. And Mass Effect promotes being a cop.
There was a character who was a cop, yeah, space cop, and he was like
Yeah,
rude or
because
something.
space cops are also running the galaxy. It's the main villain of the first game, where he's like an evil dictator cop, rogue cop, and he's like killing people and shit. Yeah, man, that dumb journalism, right? So that's gaming journalism, and I feel like the conversation we had was more about gaming reviewers. That's why I also didn't want to throw that video out, because I wanted to stress that we're just talking about video game reviewers. And because there's a lot of dumb gaming journalism out there. But I saw a video that spoke about how considering yourself a gaming journalist is laughable. Where, like, imagine going to college and leaving your parents' house and getting a degree. This is the exact video I watched. I'm not gonna drop it though. But it was like, imagine getting your degree and then you become a gaming journalist. How laughable. And it's
This
like,
person's on
bro,
YouTube though.
yeah, it's like you're on YouTube doing what exactly?
You're doing gaming journalism with more steps, bro.
And it's like, yeah, they got a job. They went to school and they liked the video games. They wanted an English degree, and they got a job doing what they enjoy. If they enjoy it, that's their prerogative. Who are you to say that a job is laughable or not? Like, I don't want to work at McDonald's, but some people gotta. You gotta do what you gotta do.
Paycheck is a paycheck, bro.
Yep. The end of the day, that's all it is. People gotta do what they gotta do. And then there's the misconception of it's corporate versus martyr, I guess is the right word to use. Because if you support gaming journalism and you're a gaming journalist, you're part of the corporate fucking hierarchy and the corporate shill. And everyone hates that word. Everybody likes to throw that word around, the corporate shill, the corporate bitch, the corporate fucking whatever.
Bootlicker.
Yeah, the bootlicker, exactly. The cacksucker.
I was hoping that
The Last of Us cocksucker. No, the Naughty Dog cocksucker. That's what it was. That's what I got called. A Naughty Dog cocksucker. But again, like, these are the people that complain about IGN being a corporation and sucking up to the man, but they go on Amazon and order everything off of Amazon and don't go to their local mom and pop shop. So, these are the same exact people who complain about corporations, but they got a yearly Amazon Prime subscription. So, who really is the shill? Huh? And I got an Amazon Prime subscription. So,
we in virtual signaling out here.
yeah, exactly. We're just trying to say is just be honest. Like, really just be honest. It's so stupid. You didn't like that their opinion was different from yours. It's literally the matter of fact. And in the video that we watched with Alana Pierce, she basically says, again, reiterating, you don't like when people have different opinions from you. It's literally this YouTuber versus journalism shit. You just don't like when they have a different opinion from you.
Which is
That's it.
interesting to think about because the only reason you can voice your opinion is because you have the right to. So why can't I
Yeah.
voice my opinion that's different from yours? You're literally
It's
making a video to shoot down whatever the fuck I'm saying.
it's
You
because you work in a company and get paid to do it, so you have no passion.
so stupid.
Remember, if you make video game articles and reviews while working for a company like IGN and get a paycheck for it, you have no passion for it. You're not a real gamer.
Nonsense. Utter nonsense.
Complete nonsense. Complete and utter nonsense. To combine the two. Yeah, man, it's bad. It's just I'm glad that we had this discussion because you were in the favor of YouTubers,
Yes,
and
and then
that's
I
fair.
did some researching and I started to
Yeah,
realize that the majority of YouTubers that I had in mind weren't actual YouTubers in the sense that we were talking about. They were operating like video game journalists or were ex video game journalists. So I was like, "Oh shit, I don't think I actually know any YouTube reviewers." And that's what sparked me uh doing the deep dive into YouTube to try to figure out like what the actual YouTube reviewers were, and then I came across people like Angry Joe and stuff like that, and I was like, oh, this is why would you actively watch this to get the real opinion?
Why would you actively watch Angry Joe? I agree. You're just putting yourself through pain and suffering if you watch Angry Joe on a religious basis.
Like I can understand watching him as an entertainment thing, like those like spoof videos or like a skit, but like it's so hard to try and take that seriously. It's like why am I ever gonna try and play anything if you're just gonna talk to me like that? Like there's no fucking reason to listen to him.
Like I'm a fucking child.
Yeah. I was like, wow, this is so crazy. And then we watched another video. I'm not gonna name drop the other guy who's like explaining why he doesn't like the game while playing the game wrong and then showing
Yeah.
videos of the tutorial in the game. He's actively saying that there's no tutorials in the game while showing us
While showing the
the tutorial. And I'm like, wait, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, did you not review the video that you put up? Did you just throw the shit on there and spoke over it? Like, what the fuck are you doing, bro?
And I think that's what I like about listening to an IGN review. So like for example, I watch IGN reviews, yes, consistently. Anytime a game that I'm interested in,
And we don't listen to them religiously because I also do it, but their
yeah.
word isn't law.
No. So yeah, I was about to reiterate that where it's like, yes, every time a game comes out that I am interested in, I do watch an IGN review for it. I do, 100%. And it's not to deter me or solidify me buying the game. It's just to see what the word is on the game. To see what's going on, what the buzz is. When the IGN review comes out, it's usually 2 days before the actual game comes out. So this is me just getting like a little, on the game. And so I'm just going to throw that there so that people don't think that like, oh, you watch IGN reviews, so of course you're going to side with them. But I feel like when you watch an IGN review, you know that there's an editing process. And there's someone there who's also played the game and is editing your article and is editing your work and editing the videos that you submit. And in terms of YouTube, it's like if this guy showed the tutorial and said there was no tutorial, and he there's no one here to edit that for him. Like he just uploads that shit, and that's forever on the internet.
Yep.
And he looks like an asshole.
There's no checks and balances, and that's a big issue.
But because he's the YouTuber and he's not a shill because he's working for himself and this is his opinion, people are going to take his word for it.
Which, not to say that he isn't being honest, he is being honest. He doesn't like playing the game. Does he understand the game? No. And that's another problem. He doesn't know what he's doing. Which isn't to say that there aren't video game journalists who don't run into the same issue, even with editors and stuff, because a recent issue that the metaverse has run into was Returnal, as I'm sure AJ has mentioned multiple times on the podcast, that the IGN review of Returnal probably deferred people from buying the game in in a very negative way because they didn't understand certain aspects of the game. And then we even saw other YouTubers making videos about the game, not understanding the mechanics of the game or even the genre of the game, which is a huge issue. So you shouldn't listen to these people and just automatically assume that they're right because they got to play the game before you. So it's everything is going to be a subjective review of it. Well, the majority of the time, I feel like they're subjective reviews where the people are giving their opinions. The only difference is that the quality of the IGN and video game journalist reviews are going to be better.
Yeah.
They're going to edit it. They have more time to do the reviews. A lot of these YouTubers, I don't think they have the same amount of time and buffer zone that IGN or like I don't know about Kotaku. Kotaku's a little sus. They just be throwing shit up whenever the fuck they feel like it. It'll still be
Otaku
garbage.
feels like it's run by like 5 people. It's usually the consensus that I get.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. But
to bring the Returnal thing, like give it a little snippet about it. I didn't like the way IGN. I didn't mind their review, right? The review was subjective. I felt like the game was better than what they were saying, and the whole unsaving thing, the no saves, whatever. Like I thought the way they worded it was a little wrong. They could have worded it a little bit better to ease the gamer. My issue with IGN was the article they put about the saving, the no saves, and the way they worded it, and the clickbait title that they had, right? So again, this comes down to we're talking about reviewers, and then we're talking about articles, right? So I'm sure the dude who reviewed Returnal is probably different from the guy who talked about the no saves. And then GameSpot put up an article clarifying it, right? They put up a beautiful article that stated how Returnal actually saved. And that cleared up a lot of stuff. And then Kotaku continuously did the IGN thing and was like, no, you can't save the game. It's hard. the Souls game, the Dark Souls of roguelikes. So, like you said, that's Kotaku.
Hearing the Dark Souls of XXX is getting so annoying. But it's really getting so annoying.
Because Dark Souls isn't even the hardest game I've ever played.
No.
I've played much harder.
It's punishing, but it's not hard.
No, it's not hard at all. It really isn't. Like I said, I've played much harder games. Persona 3 alone is a much harder game than Dark Souls, for me at least.
You have no control over that. You have no control over your losses half the time.
I think what I went through in SMT in that one fight was harder than like... It was scarier than most of what I went through in Dark Souls 3. It's I don't what it is that Dark Souls is harder for the common gamer, for the common casual gamer. And that's the best way to explain things to people. So if you say Crash is the Dark Souls of platformers, people will be like, I'm not buying Crash. I'll stick to Mario. I'm good. That argument is getting pretty good. Yeah, people just stop. Like if someone has a different opinion from you, it doesn't make them a shill, it doesn't make them a sellout, it doesn't make them a bad person. This is something, like you said, we stress on every single podcast, I feel, and every time we talk about the video game community. Because it's so prevalent in our time now. Because we're so divided, and you'll hear a little bit more about that in our podcast. But we just don't understand it. We know why you do it, and we get it. People like satisfaction, people like approval. It's like when you want to hear someone tell you that they're proud of you, or good job.
Validation of your opinions.
Exactly. And I get that. I get that a lot. I I like when you guys, right, play something that I'm interested in, like DBD, for example, and you guys love it and you guys want to play it more. That makes me feel good, because that makes me feel like, A, I made a good choice in a game, and B, that I can spread positivity through a video game. And I feel like when you're going against other people's opinions, you're lacking B. You're really lacking being. You're not spreading positivity through your video games. You need to spread more positivity. If you don't like The Last of Us, that's cool, dude. That's completely cool. There's no reason why you shouldn't want to hear my opinion on it, ask questions, the Starwind likes to say, ask as many questions as you want. You're not going to change my opinion on it, and I'm sure I'm not going to change your opinion on the game. But it's nice to have discussion. Yeah, let's talk about it. Yeah. Maybe I will open your eyes to something, and maybe you'll open my eyes to something that I didn't see.
Which isn't this the whole point of reviews? To enlighten people? Why can't we enlighten people with our fucking opinions? Why is everyone so jaded?
People like to get butthurt. I like to gaslight too, a lot. But don't be an asshole.
Learn to enjoy things.